Hey everyone, welcome to the inaugural episode of Supercast Brothers. My name is Jonathan, otherwise known as Jonno.
And I'm Lister, otherwise known as Zantok.
Now you might be wondering, where did these guys get those weird names from? I guess I'll start. Jonno has been a name that I've been going by since 2006, and so 13 years old, I think. Straight out of middle school, feeling like a big kid. Go online for the first time for forum purposes. Not for the first time ever, but for forum purposes. And like joining a forum and about something I'm passionate about, which happened to be Nintendo. I grew up on Nintendo since 5 years old, I think, and it's been a part of my life ever since. So, back in 2006, cutting to the chase, there was a forum run by who you'll now know as Damian McFerrin and Darren Calvert from Nintendo Life. They ran the Virtual Console forums based on their then website, Virtual Console Archives, which became Nintendo Life. Anyway, Damian was called Damo, Darren was called Daza. I was like, oh hey, how do I get some attention on this site? I know, let's cop off of what the owners are doing. So I just called myself Jonno, based on my actual name. And how about Zantok?
Well, you see, I got my name when my father decided to name his son after... Oh, wait, you mean internet name, not real... Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But we can cover that, too, if you wanted to.
Nah, I don't think that would be too necessary. As for Zantok, the tale is actually quite a bit simpler than how we got the slightly narcissistic Jonno.
Which, as we'll learn, is kind of a character trait of mine. Anyway.
Truth. For Zantok, well, I actually don't even remember what site it started on. It was the third username I ever used, the first one being Lizardo, the second one Lion's Kid. Yeah, I was a child. Give me a break, okay? Pretty much was just like, I kind of wanted to grow out of the Lion's Kid name because, like, okay, I don't want to have my username just have Kid in it forever. Let's grow it up just a little bit here, but I still like the Z that I had in the middle there. And so I was kind of thinking of just like different sounds. One that I could make with Z, and just like some other kind of syllable, not syllable, another kind of sound could just like smash together into it. And Zan talk, they just kind of came together, and I was like, I like that. That works. Of course, in recent years later, I would be like, hey, people, my name is Zantok. I'm just like, oh, is that like Zantax? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Who stole my... Gosh darn it. I hate whoever made Zantak. You're on my shit list forever.
Yep. But, you know, Zantak with that hard A at the end does not sound anywhere near as eloquent as Zantok. Zantok...
No, my name is far better.
Yeah. Zantok sounds like the lord of something grand.
Like a Fire Emblem region?
Right. Zantok sounds like a wizened wizard. You know,
sure. Let's go with that.
That sort of things.
Just call me Noma.
Okay, Noma. If that's what you want to be called for the. Okay. Just call me Rice. So we've known each other for over 10 years now. If you want to get really specific, I guess it was
about 11.
About 11. Yeah. Okay. And it began over at a place that you and I know quite well in you know, the dear cockles of our heart, Super Smash Bros.
Oh, yes.
Curious, which for those of you not in the know, and I would assume there are plenty of you not in the know, Mercurius was a place similar to like a very, very, very beta version of Smashboards, or
I think like Smashboards is older.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure.
You know what? In that case, in the not
it might have
in
looked
the
like a beta
age,
Smashboards though.
Yeah, not in the age, but just more the disposition and the aesthetic, and really just kind of the people there. Considering that the admin just clipped them all off of more general forums and just dragged us all there. But it was, you know, for better or for worse, we were kids. We weren't the best that we were at doing things like this, or forming really grand opinions about Smash or mostly anything. But we began together. Zantok started, I think, a year before me, so he was in 2006, I was in 2007. But we became great friends through Mercurius, which was a forum dedicated to the speculation side of Smash Brothers in particular, where the admin, DK3, would guide us into different submission forms where we can get it uploaded to his website from the forum. And these would be for characters, for stages, for items, assist trophies, you name it.
Anything you could imagine in Smash, write it down, and if it was good enough quality, or, well, sometimes even it wasn't good quality, it would go on the site, which was a really cool thing to see. Hey, I did something and it's on the internet. Holy shit, that's awesome. I'm getting recognition for this from like 5 other people, but still, it was awesome.
It was awesome, and in hindsight, it kind of ties into what we're doing now, not just with Super Cast Brothers, but we'll get to that. But a lot of people know me as a journalist now covering music, and that's kind of the broad spectrum of what I do. And we bring all of these people in, hundreds of people, thousands of people, through what was originally harbored in a passion for writing cultivated at Mercurius through speculation. And there's more to that story than just that. It was really my 6th grade teacher who first kind of drove me forward with creative writing. But Mercurius came really shortly after. And ever since, developing characters and stages and thinking of ways Smash could work with X character or X item, X event match is something that we've done ever since. Even when we weren't tied to forums, which we really aren't anymore, we just kind of talk on Discord a lot, we still speculate a lot.
We do. Perhaps too much sometimes.
Yeah, you want to tell them a little bit about the games that we have set up between each other?
Oh man, so we've had a lot of just to show you just how far deep down the rabbit hole we've gone. Sometimes we've liked to imagine, okay, what could the next Smash look like? Let's figure out a roster size, how many characters we're going to allow ourselves to add in. We tend to assume there'll be no cuts because that's just not fun to imagine a character being cut.
Right.
And we just go like, okay, hey, what about this character? Let's discuss their merits. And then we said, okay, yeah, are we putting them on the roster? Yes. Do we put them on the roster above a different character? Yeah, it's a different question. The most recent and probably most ambitious one of these roster games we've done was we imagined, okay, what if Smash Brothers started on the original NES? Mm-hmm. And we assumed roster of 8, which is probably a little bit bigger than would have been if this was a real thing. It probably wouldn't have been 8. It was like, okay, here's our 8 characters. Okay, now let's do SNES, 64, Melee, or GameCube, Wii, Wii U, Switch. Expanding the roster every time, never cutting, because again, that's just not fun to think about. And it just kept on growing and growing and growing to be some insane numbers of characters. We were doing, we were trying to balance both our own personal wants, what character we wanted to see, but also who we thought was kind of more realistic, which led to some interesting debates, such as the hardest debate we ever had for original Smash NES between Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong Jr. That took us a while to sort out.
Yeah. So it's not just as easy as, okay, here's who I want, and here's who I want, and then just tossing them all into a blender as a list. I keep lists of Smash Brothers characters that I want in the game just on my phone errantly. When we collaborate together, it is something a lot nuttier, and we could go paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs, or hours and hours and hours at a time.
And
for fun. For fun. It's fun in a sense that maybe only we can have, but we decided to share it in these podcasts and kind of expand our scope past just that style of speculation that's very often character driven or stage driven, like Mercurius harvested out of us. And expanding it into Super Cast Brothers, which, as we grow older and we grow busier, Lister, with all of your endeavors, with a day job, but also as a streamer on YouTube with Select Start Gaming and as a Twitch streamer. This is, and with me with the new website jfrom.com, which people are probably listening to this on.
We hope
it's gonna get it's gonna get a little harder and a little harder to get these things done. Like, there were some times where I've been so busy recently, and we were trying to get that roster game finished with the 128 characters, and because of just like the arduous paragraphs we'd be going through for this, I was pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off for my work in music writing and my day job. Just having too little to work with in a day, really. So this, moving it forward into what we're kind of doing together on a broader basis, it's going to free us up to continue talking how we have in a more feasible way that hopefully you, the listener, will also have a lot of fun with. So that's kind of just how Super Cast Brothers came to be. Name-wise, Super Smash Brothers, Super Cast Brothers. It's Smash Brothers. It's a podcast. Put it together. Super Cast Brothers.
Plus, Smash Cast was already taken by some other company, so we kind of couldn't do that.
Yeah, and that's something we want to establish, too, is that Smashcast is great, and there's a lot of great podcasts like it that delve into very Melee-centric, competitive-centric conversations. And the competitive scene in Smash, not bashing it at all, there's some amazing things coming out of it, and especially out of Melee. A game as old as it is still, founding new techs from out of it, and it's something else. But there's, number one, it's such a dense region to populate already, and number two, we I don't want to put words in your mouth, Lister, but I think we don't really know all that much about it.
Well, yeah, I really don't. I mean, I look at the Smash Brothers subreddit, but I tend to look less the more competitive geared posts than anything casual. Yeah. Although I did note from a friend of mine recently, just to throw one little piece of competitive knowledge out there, a record on Melee was recently broken.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember which character it was, but it was apparently the last record that I think he goes by Isai, or it might be Isai. I'm not sure the pronunciation. Isai, a legendary old original Smash player. His last record in Melee was broken, which was a target test. It was beaten by 1 second. It's like even a game that old on the GameCube, records are still being set, plays are still being made. People do some impressive stuff.
Yeah, I really respect that scene. I just know that I've never. It's not even really about having. Good enough. Yeah, it's not even really about having the time, because we sure had the time as kids, but it was more so just not having that willpower to go forward. So we had the willpower instead to move laterally in the Smash scene as I'll say it, like more casual players.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But we're just knowledgeable for being casual players.
Yes.
Just not in the form of techs or anything along those lines. Just more on the lines of what makes Smash tick on that level of, oh, who's next? What's next? And just kind of discussing, for the sake of it, where we can take Smash next and all of the boundless possibilities. It's just more fun to me. It's more fun to you, I'm assuming, and it's that's going to be the point of this podcast primarily, is just us talking about Smash in a casual conversational setting. Not a whole lot of competitive natured stuff. And there's going to be 3 types of podcasts that we're going to be doing. First and foremost, at least for starters, we're planning on making Super Cast Brothers be a bi-weekly thing. So 2 weeks from the publication date of this episode, right, today, we will have the next episode up, and 2 weeks after that, the next episode, and 2 weeks after that, the next episode. And that's just for starters. We may very well, if this goes by well, increase the output. But for now, we just think that's a good start. 3 types of shows. That's going to be what today is an on-topic broadcast, or rather podcast. And then there's Smashtopia episodes, and there's going to be Smash or Dash episodes. So on-topic episodes are going to delve into just anything we really want to talk about pertaining to Smash. So that's going to be clones versus echoes, and what differentiates clones and echoes, the different types of clones, and just kind of examining the basis of clones and echoes in future Smash installments and in Ultimate. And over time, this is kind of our miscellaneous department, our general discussion department. So it'll be where you get a lot of, a lot of the substance of what we do if you want something varied. Smashtopia, you want to tell them a little bit about that?
So Smashtopia is basically it's going to be our equivalent to the old Super Smash Bros. Mercurial site where we began. We'll pick a character or a stage, or maybe a handful of assist trophy ideas, or just a game or a franchise that we want to discuss and say, what could we get from Smash out of this? How could a character like Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses, how could she work in Smash Brothers? How could somebody like the Dragonborn from Skyrim work in Smash Brothers? What would a Bowser's Castle stage look like? Seriously, why don't we have one of those?
Seriously.
The name of it comes from the fact that we actually have had a wiki up that I created, and Jonno has contributed some to, called Smashtopia, where we just post those ideas to. Since we don't have a forum like Mercurios to go to anymore, we just like, hey, let's just have this wiki so anytime we have something, we just put it there, and we can look at it all nice and shiny when we're the only two people that ever look at it.
There's a couple of friends, right?
Collective ideas. Yeah, okay, well, we got Kelly.
Hey, shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Trevor that one time. Anyway.
And, like that's pretty much it. That's all we have on there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically the idea behind Smashtopia, is just like we want to look at something, discuss together, how will this work? What can we do to make this character unique? How can this stage stand out? Can we take any items from this game and really make them work in Smash and not be overpowered nonsense like Gust Bellows?
Or really any number of items from Smash 4.
And Ultimate. Primarily 4. Ultimate wasn't as bad. But yeah, Smash 4 introduced some wacky items.
Right. And I think it would be okay to give the people a long spanning kind of look at what Smashtopia might bring with some examples. For instance, we're going to debut Smashtopia 2 weeks from now with our take on Waluigi, who is a character that we are supremely passionate about, who,
Some people say that people only support Waluigi for the memes, but listen, we've wanted Waluigi since Brawl. Mm-hmm. We knew he was never going to be like a top choice, but after Wario, after Rosalina, after Bowser Jr., come on.
Yeah, come on.
Bring my Wa.
Seriously. Especially now that Daisy's in, even if she's an Echo.
Yeah.
And so there's that. There's Waluigi. Stages, we can bring you some Gangplank Galleon from Donkey Kong. We can bring you some Casino Palace from F-Zero. We might go into really obscure things, more along the lines of Box Boy, or something that I'm more passionate about, like The Last Story. So there's going to be a lot to go through, and there's going to be a bunch of Pokemon that we'll be talking about at some point too.
Oh yeah. That's there's a near limitless supply of potential Pokemon material that can go into Smash.
Right, and let me just say that we have a Google Doc open for all of this and organizing future episodes, and there is well over 100 Smashtopia ideas, so we're going to be around for a while.
100? There's over 100 character ideas. Are you kidding me? we are prepared to go long term.
And we will, whether we're talking to all two of you being ourselves, or all three of you. We are
the third person being Trevor.
Probably. Okay, we can at least like expand it to like 10 because our close friends will listen on Discord or whatever. From Discord rather. And smash or dash. You know what? This was your idea, your baby. So I'll let you take the range on this one too.
So smash or dash is a much smaller concept. I would not be surprised if episodes for smash or dash are in the 20 to 30-minute range, or even if we do multiple smash or dashes in just one episode. But the thing behind them is we take two characters, and there's generally going to be some kind of connection between them. It may not necessarily be as obvious at first, but let's say we have what's a good example here? We got let's say Toad versus Captain Toad. Let's say we're looking at Toad versus Captain Toad, and we're discussing the merits of both of them. And no, they're not the same character. That's been confirmed, so don't even. And we're discussing the two. It's like, okay, what are the merits of each in Smash? How are they translate? How are they function? And also at the same time, who is more fun? Who would be more fun to play as? You could look at it from a perspective of deserving if you want to, but it's going to be more of who we want in Smash. Above all else, that's the big thing. It's just all the other criteria is how we determine that. And we say, okay, which one of these characters are we adding to Smash, and which one of these characters are we dashing their hopes and dreams?
Right. So catchy. That gave me goosebumps. I don't know about you.
When I came up with that, I was struggling to come up with the title for Smash. Now, so it's just like, oh my god, I can give it this really cheesy catchphrase of dashing someone's hopes and dreams. I love it.
We got to go for Diner Dash at some point in this game.
No. No.
Maybe. Well, those
maybe against Angry Birds.
I think we're going to be going with Diner Dash in that case. So those are the 3 episode types, and we're really excited to bring all of those to you. But for starters, our inaugural episode is...
I think it's time to dive in.
Exactly, I was about to say. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to. So, again, on topic, clones versus echoes. Let's go. Beginning firstly, I think it would be important to discuss the different types of clones and, etymology related to them. So, to my understanding, you were doing some research earlier today on the SSB wiki.
Yes.
On terms regarding two clones, pertaining to clones. So, shout out to them. Very good. So, correct me if I'm wrong. There are full clones.
Yes.
There are semi-clones. Pseudo-clones.
Yes.
And now with Ultimate, we have this new branding for various clones called Echo Fighters.
Yes. And originally, they're not exactly clear on what is and is not Echo Fighters. Like, obviously, we know who is an Echo, Sakurai told us who is,
right.
But we don't quite know what makes a character an Echo. We've been told some things, and we've been told other things, and some of it kind of contradicts to a little bit. The initial impression that we had gotten was that a full clone character, somebody that's just like the same character model, more or less, obviously they change, like Lucina and Martha are not the same model, but they have the same animations for the most part, attack patterns, properties to those attacks. That's what makes an Echo. Well, then we had some like Ken, who's an Echo of Ryu, but has vastly different attack properties. And then there's Frahm, who's an Echo of Roy, but his up special is Ike's up special and not Roy's. So what exactly are the rules for what's an Echo and what's not? Even now, we're not entirely sure. And in fact, there was in one interview, and who knows how serious Sakurai was being with this, where he basically said that with all the changes between Ken and Ryu, maybe he's not an Echo. But no, he is because I say he is. That's not an exact quote at all, but that's more or less the feel of it from what I was reading of it. But it's also a question of, was he being serious? I don't know.
Right. And I think at the end of the day he did it because Ken is so commonly regarded in fighting game circles as the original clone, so it's kind of just
true.
Calling back to that. But nevertheless, it still serves to the purpose of we're not quite sure what defines an echo, if there really is any sort of defining trait beyond them being a clone of some type. Because Ken is, to my understanding, more a semi-clone than a full clone.
Yes,
So,
he is considered a semi-clone.
right. So he has a, there's a lot borrowed from the bones of Ryu's character, but he also has so many different attacks that are separate from Ryu, and animations that are separate from Ryu. So it's interesting because it's certainly a very different story from Lucina. And then there's the case of, full clones or semi-clones even, who have been grandfathered in, that aren't called echoes in Ultimate, like Dr. Mario.
Yeah, that's one that was heavily debated by fans. Was okay, so Lucina's an echo, Ken is an echo, Dr. Mario's not an echo, even though he really wasn't changed that much from Mario and Ultimate. I mean, he's a little bit different. He uses his side special completely differently. I mean, aesthetically at least, and mechanically it's the same thing. But why isn't he an echo? That's probably the biggest question I would have about Echo Fighters in Ultimate. Is like, why is Dr. Mario not an echo?
Yeah, because with other characters, you can say Toon Link isn't an echo or Lucas isn't an echo, for reasons pertaining to what makes them more pseudo clones, I guess.
Right. Except Simulink, Toon Link is actually a semi-clone.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Nevertheless,
there's actually only 3 pseudo clones in all of Smash, and one of them only became a pseudo clone in Ultimate.
Really? Then?
Yes. In Brawl, Lucas and Wolf both were introduced as pseudo clones, which there was a massive debate of whether or not Wolf was a clone or not. After all, people still talk about it, but the fact is, while he may not be a clone, he definitely has some derivative values. Yeah, his blaster works differently, but it's still a blaster. Yes, his Wolf Flash works differently than Fox Solution, but it's still heavily based off Fox Solution.
Right.
And then in Ultimate, finally getting upgraded from semi-clone status after 4 games, Luigi is a pseudo-clone now. Which is funny because after Brawl, people were calling new kinds of clones like Luigi-fied clones, when they've been made even further different from clones or semi-clones. It was like, actually, Luigi, at least according to how SSB Wiki clarifies things, Luigi's been a semi-clone ever since Melee.
Right.
And he was a full clone in 64.
Yeah, the first full clone ever in Smash.
Sakurai even said he was the original Echo Fighter.
Right.
So technically, if we were to go back and retcon previous Smash games and call some characters Echo Fighters, Luigi's an Echo.
Right.
Which makes me question how his numbering would work, because Ultimate numbered all the characters. So if a character becomes unechoed, do they just get slotted into the number system and then every character just gets shifted down? Or does it get a new number based in the new game? That's a question.
Right. That is a question. And I have, my thoughts on it are more along the lines of, he would probably just be slotted in chronologically. So, let's say he was number what?
I don't know. I don't know their numbers. I could look it up, but let me see.
Right. Let's just say like Mario's 1 and Luigi was 1E. Then Luigi gets shifted to 2, or Luigi gets shifted to 11 or 12, and then you just
number
keep
9.
Moving. Right, 9. Okay. So I guess that would be it, and then we just keep moving it forward. I think that would be an uncomplicated way of doing it, but and that does kind of pertain, because I think, not to, veer too much off course, but I do think in Future Smash games, there will be ample opportunity to change Echoes who transfer over into Future Smash into a semi-clone, into a completely unique character or a pseudo-clone.
I agree.
Right.
After all, it's already happened again with Luigi.
Right.
He's been called the original Echo, but he was only a full clone in 64.
Right. And that's kind of interesting. So we don't really have that clear quantifier for what really differentiates an Echo from a clone, but we do have just the echoes that are in Ultimate to go off of for future titles. So it's just more along the lines of, do you think that, let's assume that not everyone comes back in the next Smash.
Oh, they won't.
Right.
It can't happen.
We have some friends who are hopeful, but we'll see about that. Let's say that. Will echoes who have appeared in Ultimate reappear in future Smash titles? And will they still be labeled as echoes?
I'm going to say yes on both questions.
Okay.
Will it be all of these echoes that return? Probably not. I could see some of them returning while a few new ones come in just to maybe keep the cast a little bit fresh. But I do think moving forward, the title of Echo or Dash Fighter, for those in Japan, I think that's sticking around. Sakurai created a whole new term to call these characters, partially, in my opinion, to try and mitigate the amount of hate that clones get.
I agree.
Because people, for some reason, believe, oh my god, this character's a clone. They stole a slot from my other favorite character. Mrr! Look at this. We got a clone of Lucas in Brawl, and he took Ridley's spot. I'm going to rage on the internet about it. Guys, all seriousness here. A clone, an echo, they don't steal a spot. Sakurai had explained this with Melee. He explained this with Ultimate. He probably explained this in the other games. I don't remember. But these clones or echoes, especially the ones in Melee and Ultimate, came about at the end. There wasn't enough time to make many more characters. I think in Melee it was a choice of making one character or making the collection of clones that they got. Those collections of clones being Dr. Mario, Falco, Ganondorf, Pichu, Roy, and Young Link. It was a question of make one fully new character or add these 6 clones. And the choice was add the 6 clones to boost up the roster. And I can't argue with that. If it was a choice of 4 characters versus 6 clones, alright, okay, then don't give us the clones. That's silly. But it's all about development time, because these clone characters, they're not built from the ground up like a full new character would have to be. They take a character, and they essentially kind of like copy and paste them, especially with echoes. They just change their model to be what the new character is going to be, and they change some properties with their animations. It's Marth to Roy, it's Mario to Dr. Mario, Fox to Falco.
Right.
It makes the dev time go so much faster. A character takes a lot less time making them a clone than making a whole new character from the ground up.
Right.
And Smash is always going to have that period of time towards the end where it's like, okay, we can add this 1 or 2 other characters. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe things will go wrong and they have to be delayed. Or we can fit in these 4 to 6 clones, these echoes. And while it's not that one unique character, hey, fans of all these characters, while your character's not unique, they're still in the game. Fans of Daisy, congrats. She's in the game. She may just be an echo of Peach, but hey, you got your girl.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
I think that's going to be something that stays. Every single game has had clones be added into it. Every single one.
Right.
That's not changing.
And that's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was thinking about that too. I think echoes came about, at least in part. I think, they came about to help stem this number system that came around with Ultimate, but also, and I think primarily, to make it so fans wouldn't be so outright hateful of clones.
Yes.
So just giving them that branding and being more abundantly clear than ever, Sakurai has finally turned a new leaf with clones with the fan base, and it's just a positive thing. We finally recognize it almost universally as an extra bonus instead of something that takes away.
Yeah.
So, and we might not have gotten Dark Samus that way, or we definitely wouldn't have gotten Chrom that way, who really felt last minute to me. So that's,
although Sakurai did consider Chrom for Smash 4, he just thought Robin was more unique, which he was right. And thank you.
Absolutely, thank you very much. Yeah, I agree. Echoes will appear in future titles, and so along those lines, what do you think of just straight bringing echoes back into Smash 6, though? Like, you have the opportunity to turn Dark Samus into a unique character, but you don't do it. You you just bring it back as an Echo?
I would always prefer a fully unique character as opposed to just bringing them back as an Echo. Like, obviously, yes, I know I just said that. Hey, they can if they add in this one, like if they could do just Dark, if they have enough time to do just Dark Samus and that's it to end it, or if they have time to do Echo Dark Samus and like 4 other Echoes, they're going to go with a second solution. But I would always rather have a character be fully unique than be an Echo on an individual case by case basis, because that means we have more variety in the roster, and a character can be more true to who they are. Like Dark Samus, I really like playing as Dark Samus in Ultimate. Despite them being an Echo of Samus, I like using Dark Samus more. I don't have an explanation for that. I just do. Yeah. I think part of it might be the end. Like Dark Samus's jump animation, I love that, and the chaoticness of their charge shot when they're charging it looks really awesome.
That's right.
I love that. But do I want Dark Samus to be more unique? Yes. Would I accept it if Dark Samus is just an Echo again? Also, yes. Will there be a disappointment? Of course. But hey, if it means we're getting another Smash Brothers, all right.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
New Smash trumps anything else.
Absolutely.
Let's be real.
Absolutely.
That said, I actually have been trying to work with my brother Twilix on getting a de-echoed version of Dark Samus Sun. It's just, he's a little not proactive about it, unfortunately. But we do have the ideas written now. We just haven't been able to put it to paper yet. But it can absolutely be done. Any of these Echoes can be made into non-Echoes. Some of them would be a little bit harder. Lucina, Kin, Daisy. They're probably some of the more difficult ones. Some people might say Richter. I'm not familiar enough with Castlevania to judge that. But, I mean, Dark Samus and Dark Pit can 100% be made unique characters. It would not be hard at all.
Yep.
There might be some semi-cloneness with Dark Pit and Pit. In fact, I expect that. But you can absolutely make him not be an Echo.
Oh, yeah. There's such an abundance of weaponry from Uprising. It's kind of blasphemous that they have not given that to Dark Pit yet. Yeah. It just is, but I won't bring too much negativity with that rant.
At least Ganondorf has his sword.
Yeah, exactly. We're Doryaing all over the place.
There's a character who started out as an Echo and now is slowly, bit by bit, becoming more and more unique.
Maybe in Smash 6 they'll probably bring him some more sorcery. Here's to hoping.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've gone through kind of the gamut of all this, talking about the different clone types, what differentiates an Echo from a clone. We don't know.
Well, we do. While we don't know exactly what differentiates an Echo from a clone, I do have, at least in terms of what SSB Wiki has collected, definition of the 3 different types of clones.
Really, though?
Yes. This is going to be completely verbatim, just taking it straight from their wiki. But a full clone, often shortened to just clone, will have unique taunts and victory poses. They may have unique attributes, such as being heavier or faster, or non-combat animations, such as running or jumping, and perhaps a unique attack or two. Otherwise, they share effectively all moves and animations with their parent. Dr. Mario in Melee, Lucina in Smash 4, both great examples of this. Then we have the Stimmy clones. They have several unique attacks and animations of their own while retaining a significant amount from their parent. Falco and Brawl, Isabelle and Ultimate are both examples of semi-clones. Which, speaking of Isabelle, raise your hand there if you thought she was an Echo when they had that reveal trailer for Smash Ultimate. Because I did.
It was really confusing.
I 100% thought she was an Echo. I was shocked when they showed the end of the trailer with her little number and there was no Echo symbol next to it. I was like, what? She's a... It was shocking.
Yeah.
But to be fair, only revealing an Echo in a Nintendo Direct and no other character would have been very, very weird.
Right.
But the third definition, a pseudo-clone, is for the most part their own character, but with enough moves or animations copied from their parent that it would be inaccurate to say they are not cloned to some degree. Wolf and Brawl, Luigi and Ultimate are examples of pseudo-clones.
Right. Okay.
So that's kind of where some of the differences lie. A lot of it comes down to just how much from their origin character is still the same. How much has been changed.
And I think for the most part, we can say that Echoes in Ultimate and probably moving forward are going to be, for the most part, full clones, with the exception of Ken.
Yeah, Ken is the only Echo that is not a full clone.
Right. Okay.
But speaking of clones, I do have a little bit of trivia for you.
Really?
Who is the only clone character to ever be completely upgraded from non-clone status in all of Super Smash Bros.?
That is a good question. And I don't know the answer to it, even though I should.
Oh, no guesses? Really disappointing.
Charizard.
No, but you do have the right franchise. It's Jigglypuff.
Oh, yes, of course.
Jigglypuff
now I
was
feel like the big
clone of Kirby in Smash 64. Because they literally just like, hey, we can make 2 more characters. Let's make Luigi off Mario, and hey, Kirby's a ball. Jigglypuff's a ball. Let's make Jigglypuff.
Mm-hmm. You know, we love Jigglypuff in this house. Well, the inclusion of Jigglypuff is, you know, wouldn't have happened without that. We probably would have gotten something like Meowth or Charizard back then.
Yeah. If anytime we've done a roster game and it's like we're making Smash 64, we don't pick Jigglypuff. We pick Pikachu, and I think Charizard is who we picked both times we've done that.
Right.
But Meowth and Mewtwo are also both great picks, but we never pick Jigglypuff.
Right.
We also don't go out of our way to pick clones, so.
Yeah, that 128 roster we did last time had no clones. That was something.
Yeah, there were some stimmies, but there were no full clones.
Right. Had to get a little bit of water in me for this.
Jigglypuff. You know we just lost our one viewer, right? I would like to announce that I am now leaving Supercast Brothers. It's all yours.
They're just asleep. It's okay. It's okay. Stay here for them. They're asleep right at that table over there. It's okay. It's okay. I won't even draw on them this time.
Put the marker down. Put the marker down.
Yeah. It's totally fine. It's good. We're good. Just don't mention Jigglypuff around me. It gets me worked up.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, so very interesting. Gotta give it to Puff. I mean, even if their initial inclusion was dubious, I do appreciate them now for many reasons. Maybe primarily
at least in all honesty, like let's be real here. The Pokemon roster for Smash has historically had a heavy basis off of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Incineroar and Greninja kind of break that a little bit because they were chosen before those games were even released and based off concept art.
Right.
But even then, Greninja was a hugely important part of the anime. In the Sun and Moon anime, Ash got a... Wait, no. Did he get a Lin? Somebody got Lin. I'm not sure. But there's been no Incineroar that's evolved to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So that one kind of breaks the pattern there. But Jigglypuff was very popular in the anime at the time and had a big presence. It was a wild Pokemon that constantly would follow around the group, try and sing to them, and then they'd fall asleep and he'd draw all over the face. So it had a huge presence. I think Jigglypuff stayed on through all the Kanto season and all the Johto season, only disappearing when they went to Hoenn.
Mm-hmm. You know,
so it had huge presence.
Yeah, I agree, and all of that discussion about Jigglypuff reminds me of a song. But
not again.
But instead of torturing not you, but more so the listener, I believe you said something about having some Echo ideas to present.
Yes, I did. So, something that I wanted to do for our first episode discussing clones versus Echoes is I wanted to say, okay, some people feel like there could have been more Echoes. Now, we don't know what the amount of dev time was for this game, but some people suggested, hey, what if we got Echoes as DLC? Potentially it's like their own separate thing, or maybe one free Echo character with each full character that's released as part of the character pack of DLC. Which so far we've gotten Joker, we've gotten Hero, Banjo-Kazooie's coming up relatively soon, which, big yes on that. I'm very glad about all these characters.
Yeah, and
the idea kind of was, okay, let's challenge ourselves to think, what are the 5 potential Echo characters that we most would like to see added either in Smash 6 or as DLC to Ultimate. And we're kind of just operating under the assumption that, retconning things here, one Echo would be revealed alongside each DLC character in the Fighter Pass. So we limit ourselves to just 5, because as far as we know, we're only getting 5 DLC characters in the Fighter Pass, and there's not going to be a Fighter Pass 2. Maybe there will be. I'm hoping, but we ain't speculating that far.
Nope.
So, shall we say our 5, or do we want to go one by one?
You know what? Let's go one by one, and I'll defer to you for the first.
All right. I have, at least for my 5, I have them ranked in order, because that's just how I do things.
Right.
And my number 1, the Echo character who I most want to see out of the Smash, is Ninten from Earthbound Zero, or not Earthbound Zero, Earthbound Beginnings, otherwise just known as Mother in Japan. Including Ninten, you round out the 3 protagonists from the Earthbound franchise. Lucas is already a pseudo-clone, so Ninten could easily be an Echo of the 2 of them, I feel like. Kind of like how Frahm takes things from both Roy and Marth, and how Simon and Richter, despite Richter being an Echo, they both borrow from each other. So Ninten could borrow properties from both Lucas and Ness. I would call him an Echo of Ness more than Lucas, especially because of appearance-wise. He's a lot more similar to Ness in his appearance.
Right.
And it will just... let's be real. Earthbound needs more attention. I really feel like it does. It needs some more love. Whether that's Mother 3 coming to the West, Ninten coming to Smash, or something else. Let's bring in Ninten as an Echo.
Yeah.
Give him maybe give him a PK Fire. Give him a... I don't remember the other spells from the original Mother game, but he actually had no offensive spells in the original Mother game. But it's Smash. They make this stuff up all the time. You think Zelda uses Din's Fire in the actual Zelda games? No, she doesn't. That was taken from Link and Ocarina of Time.
Well, even Ness and Lucas are said to have taken their moves from their party members too for Smash.
I think it's actually been explained. I don't remember what the source was, but that going to Smash, Ness and Lucas were both taught the moves by Pooh and Kumatora from their own games.
Right.
So maybe Ninten comes around and Ness and Lucas pass on that knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. And I could say shamefully didn't even have that on my list.
Shame.
Yeah, but you know what? That's good for diversification. Ninten, that design of him cropped up, I think more recently with the blue scarf. I think so. That would
and the little beret. I love that design for him. I really do. That's cool.
Yeah. That would I would like for him. Like you would think that maybe that's a sub design, blah blah blah. But we did get Roy looking phenomenal as Smash 4 DLC, borrowing from Awakening's design. So
which that Awakening design is the best non-Smash art of Roy out there. Well, absolutely. Pre-Fire Emblem Heroes. Fire Emblem Heroes, where they actually did some good Roy art. But the Awakening art of him was fantastic.
It was. And on the other hand, the Ike art was horrible. Really bad.
And the Marth art. Marth and Ike did not look good in that DLC.
No, they didn't. Oh, man. I love Ike so much. That was really kind of just disturbing. But anyway, my number 1, and this will be no surprise to you at all, and I'm approaching this more from the line of Smash 6, because this wouldn't really apply for an Echoes pack unless there's some retconning. Tell me you know what's coming.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Alf.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Alf.
Well, I mean, I did consider him, but he still didn't make my top 5.
Right. Alf being... It just irks me. I'm not a huge fan of Pikmin. I have an appreciation for it. I've played and beaten 1, 2, and 3, and I liked the games. But nevertheless, I'm not the most ardent fan. But I am... It just scratches the wrong, bone for me to... the unfunny bone. To have to see Alf as an alt for Olimar for no reason at all.
I agree.
Between 4 and Ultimate. So I think Pikmin 3 introduced some interesting features. You can literally give Alf just rock Pikmin and it would be good enough instead of just the standard Pikmin. I mean, otherwise you can give him Olimar's old up special from 4 and Brawl to differentiate him further, and just let it rip, let it go.
Yeah.
Because Pikmin, I think, is another one that could use a slight amount more than it has, and just making Alf into an Echo proper would be satiating. It would be good.
I honestly don't know why Alpha is an Echo. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Lucina, Dr. Mario, and Lucina, Alf, Dr. Mario, and Dark Pit were all originally alternate costumes of their parent characters in Smash 4.
Mm-hmm.
But Sakurai decided to split out Lucina, Dr. Mario, and Dark Pit as far as their own clone characters in Smash 4 because I don't remember the exact reasons why he chose them, but they had enough time to make some clones. It was like, hey, why don't we just take these characters who are costumes and just make them be the clones? Because we already have the models. Like, makes sense.
Right.
Why not Alf too? I mean, I guess maybe they only had time for 3. So, okay, fine. It makes for so fine. You know, for Smash 4, whatever. But Ultimate, you kept those other 3 as clones or echoes now. So why did you not make Alf an echo instead of, like, Daisy or Chrom? I would have cut Chrom and made Alf be the last echo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that's the case. And you brought up how they could make Alf unique. I've actually done that already. There is Smashtopia articles that I did. I worked on them both at the same time, Olimar and Alf, trying to make them both be separate characters and have their own unique properties. I believe what I did was I actually gave Olimar his old up special back from Brawl. And I gave the new up special with the winged Pikmin to Alf because there's winged Pikmin in Pikmin 3, Alf's original game.
Right.
And instead of making his Pikmin just be rock Pikmin, which I'm not opposed to, I just replaced the purples with rocks. And that was my simple solution there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Beyond that, I think they were just still similar characters. I might have given a unique property to the whistle. I don't remember for sure, but it can absolutely be done. No, I don't think Alf will ever be anything more than a semi-clone at absolute best, but he can absolutely be made more than just an alt costume. It's not hard at all. I'm
just saying, take him out of alt territory. Put some respect on the man. It's not a situation like Hero or anything like that. It's 2 very distinct characters who do not, they fit similar roles but are not one for one in their titles like Hero can be taken. So, yeah, it's just one of the very few things in Smash that irks me as kind of a disservice to the character.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm passionate about that. Yeah.
Understandable. That's a good pick.
Yeah. And enough about me though. What's your next pick?
My number 2 is probably not one that most people really consider. It's from the Donkey Kong franchise, and a lot of people say, "Oh, hey, make Dixie Kong an echo of Diddy Kong," and I say no. Don't do that.
Hard no.
Disservice to Dixie. It's a disservice to some other characters too, but I don't. In the event that Sakurai looks at echoes as, hey, they're an echo, and just moves on, Dixie Kong does not deserve that. Dixie Kong deserves to be full character treatment from the beginning. I'm not saying add Dixie Kong into Ultimate as a full character because, hey, I'm happy with K. Rool. That's great. Smash 6, so let's get me some Dixie. But who should be that echo for the Donkey Kong franchise? It's Funky Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. He's obviously going to be an echo of Donkey Kong and not Diddy, because that would not work. But they have similar builds, so it fits very well. He can easily use Giant Punch, the Hand Slap, all of DK's attacks he can easily just take. And for some animations, you can easily include his surfboard. I don't know if his Smash would be the same or not. It could be, certainly. Or if they do something with his helicopter or surfboard that he uses in the other games. But Funky Kong would be a very easy echo to translate in. The only problem I can see Sakurai having with it is fur issues. Because I know in any game, a character with fur is going to be harder to animate than others. And while they've already done the work with DK, I don't know if there'd be anything more difficult with Funky because he's got various clothing on. Now maybe you have to turn some fur off or smooth it down or something. I'm no programmer. I don't know. But I can see there being a little bit of extra difficulty with him compared to somebody like Nidten. But, man, let's get some funky mode and Smash.
Oh, man. Yeah, I love it. And, I'm not really going in a super rigid order. as you are. I'm just kind of going with the flow. So I'll just go off of you with your Funky and raise you another Donkey Kong character that I had the thought for. But first, Funky, fantastic pick. He was also on my short list, but I kind of forewent him, thinking that you would probably go for him too, because we both have that kind of acknowledgement of Funky. Yeah, and I would just go off of that. Maybe like a less bad version of DK's original Final Smash could be his, since he's such a music forward character.
It would work.
Yeah, it would. Would he bring the surfboard in?
I think so.
For smash attacks, yeah, I agree. Like along those lines. Yeah, I kind of meant as like a cop off of Tropical Freeze, but in that case I wouldn't think so. Let's see here. Okay. Going next up
with your number 2
is my number 2, right? All right, that would be well, not necessarily number 2, but because we were already talking about DK, Lord Frederick.
I had a feeling that's who you were going to go with.
Yeah. I mean, I won't say it was an original idea, but I've seen it around game FAQs, Smash boards for some time. People saying, why can't Lord Frederick be a K. Rool clone? And on one case, he's a relatively new character. DK doesn't really need necessarily so much representation. We've really finally been given what we needed with K. Rool, and we would be with Dixie, Funky. Frederick is kind of more off base, but he's from a highly regarded game with Tropical Freeze, the most recent in DK's history. So there's that sort of respect paid to the franchise, and also is not a Kong, and is not a Kremling, so it would be interesting from that aspect too. Also being a menacing final boss, and another villain. That's right. We can always use some more villains in Smash. And he could just copy. You can go 1-for-1 with K. Rool's frame for the most part. I don't believe you would have to worry too much about fur. Just really on his clothing. And his stash, of course. And have a character with an ice-based moveset. You can copy Blunderbuss with the horn that he has pretty simply. Counter is obvious with his belly again.
Yep.
The Ice Dragon, people have said, that could work in a similar way to Crown. So okay. Same idea. I think the only thing that would really need to change would be his up special, because he does not have copter like K. Rool would, and along those lines he can once again incorporate something like the dragons or just a icy wind beneath his feet, and to carry him upward, kind of like something DDD-esque,
Right.
So nothing too crazy moveset wise, but they are echoes, so it's more for the entertainment value of having the character in. And I think Frederick would be a fun character to have, and it's always something for me to have a walrus in the game. Yeah,
that is very you. And I do think Lord Frederick, while he would need to be changed up a little bit from K. Rool to work well in Smash, like I think Blunderbuss the horn mostly works. Just you gotta alter some of how it's used, considering the Blunderbuss, you're holding it like a rifle. The horn, it's going low to the ground, so that's got to work a little bit differently. The belly slap counter absolutely fits. Crown toss, he's wearing a little Viking helmet. Hello.
Right.
It's the same exact thing. Up special, I agree. That's the one that really has to be changed up. Theoretically, they could just give him an icy jetpack or whatever on his back that just kind of propels him upward, but just not have the propeller up top.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Final Smash, I mean, that has to be changed, considering K. Rool, it's literally pulled straight from DCA64 using the K. Rool cannon or whatever it's called. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Right.
But, I mean, it's a cinematic Final Smash, so you can easily build something new for that, and that's not a problem.
Yeah, just have him, taking over DK Island with the Snowmads and have kind of a Viking excursion on the characters in his cutscene.
Yeah, or just fire a volley of cannonballs at the island.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. So hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 for you, my friend.
Number 3. My number 3. I'm actually realizing that. Oh, hey, most of my list are echoes of characters that debuted in Smash 64.
Nice.
Well, and that continues with number 3. Number 4 and 5 come from other games, but number 3, it's time to show some love to another unrepresented, or not unrepresented, but lowly represented series in Smash Brothers, and that's F-Zero. So bring in my Black Shadow.
Who?
Oh, why were you not given Captain Falcon's moveset sooner? Come on, man. We got Ganondorf as a clone of Captain Falcon and Melee because, lol, similar body builds. It's like, but F-Zero has Black Shadow just ready. He's right there. It's the same build. But please, it's a common thing among fans to say, hey, why don't we get Ganondorf with a new moveset in the next Smash game? And then to make the fans of his current moveset happy, we'll just put in Black Shadow and give him Ganondorf's old moveset. I mean, I'm down for it. So I guess he's technically he would kind of be an echo of Captain Falcon and Ganondorf, maybe to a degree. And this was actually the very first character submission that I put on Smash Up. It was one for Black Shadow to make him a Captain Falcon semi-clone. But it's such an obvious pick. We only have one character from F-Zero in all of Smash. Granted, F-Zero is kind of a dead franchise.
Right.
There's been no new games since the GameCube era. And that was quite a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean we can't still get another game or another character to it, even if they don't get more games. And Black Shadow is the natural choice.
Right. I concur. It's been a long time coming for Smash fans in this respect, because we've always had the fantasy, and we are not alone with this at all, of Ganondorf being decloned entirely and having Black Shadow simply take that moveset from him.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, but Ganondorf is at least given some sort of service, a little more each game. Black Shadow, what I'm primarily excited for, other than being a quality villain to include in Smash, at this point has less to do with Ganondorf and more to do with his inclusion could finally open the door towards some of the more close-minded executives at Nintendo, not naming names, but to re-examine F-Zero as a franchise and return to it.
Yeah.
And just give us what we want, because Smash is the reason why Fire Emblem came to the West. That
there is room for more than one racing game in Nintendo.
Absolutely.
Like,
Mario Kart and F-Zero, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. We don't need Mario Kart's great. Love Mario Kart, but Mario Kart and F-Zero are totally different games. There's no reason we can't have both. There's also no reason we couldn't have a new Diddy Kong Racing type of game. We got the remake for Crash Nitro Kart. And it's like, hey,
fantastic.
Guys, you remember racing games that had hub worlds and a story mode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing, in the Crash Team Racing games. Those were that style. There's no reason we can't have Mario Kart, which is just cups. F-Zero, which is, honestly, I don't really know how much F-Zero works, but it's high-speed racing where cars can go flying off the platform and knocked out of the race. And then Diddy Kong, where it's a story and a hub world, and there's a villain that you have to outrace at the end. There's no reason we can't have more racing games. And F-Zero,
man,
it's perfect. It was if the Wii U hadn't been a flop, F-Zero would have been perfect to be revived on the Wii U with the tablet.
Oh yeah, agreed.
It still could be with the Switch. Imagine being put in a cockpit mode. You just have this first-person view from your character's perspective, and you're looking at kind of like how what Star Fox Zero does. And you're using the tablet, seeing everything going fast past you, trying to race around this, and it's going nuts. I'm all in on this. Give me more F-Zero.
Yeah. Same here. And you got me on such a mental tangent while you're going on about F-Zero. I was like, man, Diddy Kong Racing. It's like, imagine Banjo coming back for that one too.
They did remake Diddy Kong Racing, just not with Banjo.
Yeah, they can give us a sequel this time for Switch, please and thank you. So I think that that brings me to my third. I'm just gonna go for something that not as much fanfare, but it's something that came to mind as an easy fix, and I'm only bringing it up because I think it's actually something fairly realistic that we're sleeping on.
Oh.
Yes, and that is a an echo of the character that you thought was an echo.
Ah.
Digby.
I think I know where you're going with what.
Yep, Digby from Animal Crossing. Isabel's brother, I believe. Don't kill me if that's wrong. I'm not really.
I
Into
believe
Animal
that's
Crossing
true.
Okay. Okay, good. And really, I'm not sure where else to take that. There would be some stat differences, I'm sure, but beyond that, it's an easy one-for-one. You give Animal Crossing fans, and there are plenty of them, and they are extremely passionate for that franchise. Like we can be about for ours, like our
Yes.
flagship is Smash. A lot of friends are really into Animal Crossing in our personal abode. So shout out to them, Britt and Krista. Uh, so Digby would be an easy way to give fans of Animal Crossing what they want, a little more so, being even less of a work output than another semi-clone would be, like maybe Tom Nook. So,
See, it's interesting you mentioned
yeah.
that because I would have expected Tom Nook to be the echo of maybe a combination of Villager and Isabel.
Yeah, and that
Instead
could
of
be,
Dig-
yeah. Hey, that
which
could be a
Digby
place that
does
you take it.
have. Digby's character model does match better up with Isabel's,
Hmm.
but utility-wise, I mean, it's not like Tom Nook's frame is going to be that much different. I would have expected him due to the higher popularity.
Right,
Interesting
right.
choice. That caught
Yeah.
me off guard.
Hey, I only did it because I didn't think of Tom Nook for this. I was just stuck more in the idea of having him in as more firmly a semi-clone, which I don't think would qualify him for an echo. But that's that's just me. So yeah, that's Digby. He would look cute.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what to think now. You always have a history of anytime we meet to discuss speculation. You have a history of throwing a wild card at me. I'm just like, what?
Mickey Mouse.
It's like the last time, yeah, Mickey Mouse was one of the ones you tried to hit me with, but the last time you hit me with Epona, and I was like, what are you on? What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm glad I convinced you on that one too.
You did not convince me. You did not. You convinced me on Agumon, but not Epona.
Oh man, yeah. We'll talk about Agumon at length one of these days.
Oh, I'm sure we will. But
Yep.
it is time for my number 4, unless you have more to say on Digby.
No, not really. Otherwise, I really just kind of implemented him as that reason. It's a very feasible character that could easily happen, and it's just kind of a roll of the dice if it does. But I don't want people to be surprised if it does.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, my number 4 comes from a highly, highly favorite game of mine. Oh my god, I love this franchise. And
Fossil Fighter.
their echo character, their parents that they echo from, was only introduced in Ultimate. I'm pretty sure you know who it is by that point. Give me the Octolings. Oh, come on.
Yep.
Splatoon is such a great game. For the moment trailer 1 dropped for Splatoon, what was that, 2015?
Mm-hmm.
2014? Somewhere around there?
Oh, we knew it was going to be a
very
hit.
first trailer, everybody knew this was going to be a hit. People went crazy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo had a winner. And
Right.
Splatoon 1 did crazy well. Splatoon 2 did crazy well. Splatoon 2 gave us Octo Expansion DLC, playable Octolings, another story mode with Agent 8 trying to escape the deep sea metro and make it to the Promised Land. More than that, I'm not going to talk about it at the moment because, hey, maybe you're playing that. But
Yeah.
now that we have the Inklings in Smash, there's no reason why we can't get the Octolings. I can understand maybe at the time Ultimate was in development, they didn't have the design for Octolings, the playable versions of Octolings ready. So maybe Sakurai wanted to include them but couldn't. But you can do it now.
Mm-hmm.
You can absolutely do it now. I would love to see them have some different tools from the Inkling. Like, instead of the splatter shot, use the splat dualies. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
that'd just be awesome. Instead of the roller, use the octo brush. Instead of the killer whale, use one of the new specials from Splatoon 2. But that's digging more into semi-clone territory. But I think they can absolutely also work as echoes and still be totally acceptable. Like I said before, I will always rather have a unique character than an echo, but Octolings as an echo make perfect sense.
Yeah, it would be entirely acceptable. And it's a
And
situation like Dark Pit.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
Splatoon has high popularity. Only 2 games, but people love it.
Right. That is
I,
absolutely correct.
I already want Splatoon 3, even though I know we're not getting it until the next Nintendo console. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way. That's a
Yeah.
franchise, much like Smash. You only do 1 game per console,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is
Agreed.
fine. It fits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sad that the DLC for Splatoon 2 has since ended. But what a final Splatfest.
Oh, I bet. I'm sorry I wasn't a part of it, but at least I'm here now.
Chaos rules.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And you were on Team Chaos, right?
Hell yeah.
Yep. I think there are some of our more, I'm not sure what to call it, but certain friends of ours were more for Order. I think Chaos is just more of a interesting spin if this affects Splatoon 3 like Splatoon's final Splatfest did for
Yes.
Splatoon 2.
That's
So,
actually
yeah.
part of why I chose Chaos, because I thought it would be a more interesting start for
Hmm.
Splatoon 3 than what Order would be.
Right. Okay, so my next one should not shock you anywhere near as much as Digby did, because
I
it's
hope not.
something that we've talked about, and from a series that I am really passionate about. Speaking of series that we're passionate about, uh, Fire Emblem, Celica.
Yes.
Yep, Celica over, as a Robin Echo, which is an idea that you've probably heard before if you're part of the Smash scene. Basically, she purveys in all types of magic. She has anima magic at her disposal, dark magic, but we can curve it towards light magic because that is not represented in Smash yet. So my idea is just give her, instead of 11 sword, beloved Zofia. So the gimmick here would not be lightning based attacks, but sword attacks that heal her every so often. Beyond that, you can give her anything from, it's probably the standard special can remain fairly similar, but along those lines you can give her things like I don't know. How would an up special work? A standard teleportation? I mean, I think
I can see the same teleportation. I don't have my current notes on Celica available at the moment, but
right.
I imagine it to be primarily light magic based with some anima, probably either teleport or wind as her up special, just to keep
Right.
things simple.
Right. And then as far as light magic goes, there's so much that you can go for as far as that goes, and so many separate light magic that can be used. I mean, in her game, I think the primary legendary tome that you can go for is Aura. So why not go for Aura and have it cast a spectrum of light rings that go towards opponents. That could be an easy standard, or even a side, kind of replicating Robin's fire, I want to say. So things along those lines, and her final smash can just be something tremendous along the lines of a Cradlelet or Aureola, just more light based magic. And other than that, you can keep some of her anima attacks, like you said. Like you can keep Excalibur as her up B if that's a easier way to go. And yeah, otherwise standards can be pretty 1-for-1 just with a separate gimmick for the sword. And it would be an easy and acceptable way to include a fan favorite character, which is at this point, the ship might have sailed. Period. But if there's any hope for her now, it would be in that sort of light, and
Yeah.
I would be a fan.
Plus, I mean, with Fire Emblem, people tend to complain about, oh, there's too many Fire Emblem characters, or there's too many sword-using Fire Emblem characters, which, okay, yeah. We do want
Yeah.
some more utility besides just swords and Fire Emblem characters. And yes, Celica has a sword. Yes, Robin has a sword, but they're primarily mages. And while we got Crom as an Echo, we could have gotten Celica. Which
And
would
we
have not
should have,
only
in my
been...
opinion.
Yeah, which would have not only been another character who's more than just a sword user, but it would be not our third character from Awakening, but a character representing a completely different Fire Emblem game, Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, and I don't think it's really any real contest that Celica is the more interesting lord, both in terms of character and utility in Echoes.
Right.
Sorry, you got a good design, but Celica's got you beat.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So I think that brings us back to you, right?
Indeed it does. For my final Echo choice, and it's funny, you brought up someone that uses light magic. It's really funny, because my last character is someone that uses dark magic.
Ah, you beauty.
Enter Medusa from Kid
Ah,
Icarus.
yes, of course.
Well, I do think Medusa could another be word sometimes. Medusa could easily be another one that has a little bit more differentiation between the character that she echoes from, being Palutena. She's also another one that's very easy to echo from. They're both goddesses in the Kid Icarus world. Palutena of light, Medusa of the underworld. So it's the classic dichotomy of light and dark. So whereas Palutena has like her heavenly wings for her down special, or that pillar of light for her up smash. I said down special, but I meant down smash. Medusa could be more like maybe black feathered wings or skeletal wings for her down smash, and like a pillar of dark energy for the up smash. Reticle could work the exact same. The counter / reflect could work the exact same. Or you could even this goes more to the semi-clone status of things, but maybe down the line, maybe after a second appearance of Medusa, you take some of those custom specials that Palutena had for Smash 4 and just put them on Medusa.
Right.
Because hey, those moves, Palutena and the Mii Fighters were the only characters in Smash 4 whose custom specials were actually unique and not just variations of the same move.
Yeah.
Which was really disappointing. But now those extra customs are just sitting in the memory bin, wasted, not being touched by anything. Medusa could, and again, that's going down the line to the semi-clone route of things. But she could easily also be an Echo, and that would also, while Dark Pit isn't necessarily aligned with Medusa and Kid Icarus Uprising, it does kind of put on their Light Goddess, Dark Goddess, Light Angel, Dark Angel.
Ah,
is that
beautiful.
Nice
Yep,
vibe?
Yep, a beautiful dichotomy. Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of Medusa as well. She would be an easy Echo for all the reasons that you've stated, and even if she were more a semi-clone, I think that we can kind of go for the Ken quantifier here, because someone like Sakurai would be like, oh, hey, light versus dark. Oh, the exact parallels of one another. Okay, she's a Palutena Echo.
Yeah.
So I'm totally down with that. Phenomenal way to end your bid on some Echoes that you wanted to present. That's a great idea, and a really feasible one. Like, I hope that happens.
But what about you? What's your final Echo?
What about me? So you think that Digby was a curveball? Digby was but a boy, my friend.
Is this last one a frog?
That would have been a good place to take it, but no.
Damn, I was really hoping that was going to be your last one.
I
He was on my list, but
yeah. I have to give credit where credit's due, because I did not think of this at all until I saw it on Smashboards a few days ago. So shout out to Mr. Electro G64 on Smashboards, who, in the newcomers and speculations topic that I'm often lurking and being a part of, he posed an interesting echo for a character you wouldn't expect to have an echo. And unlike all of these other echoes, they're not from the same series. Although they do have, although you could say they are, given their role and their shared origins in Smash, particularly. But not in terms of just actuality. Like this character who I am echoing, is from one series, and the character, the original recipe character that they're cloning off of is they have what, a spinning disc as their emblem, gyromite.
Oh,
so
what?
So
a Rob echo.
Gotta give it to Mr. Electro G64 for thinking of, and not even just thinking of, but thinking of a full moveset for an ancient minister echo of Rob.
Okay.
Yep.
I gotcha. I see where you're going with this.
Yep. So and some of what he said, he has this really cool graphic. You should just look it up. But he's just made some stat changes for the most part, saying and just some differences in the technicalities, like Ancient Minister's laser will always have fire effects just because it's more a stronger, more dominant Rob.
Even though technically the Rob in Smash is the Ancient Minister Rob.
Yeah. Up special, same as Rob's, but works a little longer because it's on that weird floating platform that the Ancient Minister came rolling down in the original cutscene for Subspace Emissary, where he comes in for the first time and PD's there. That sort of thing. Down special, what's interesting about this is that he made it more like Link's down special than Rob's.
New Link with the remote bombs?
Yeah, new Link, yes.
Interesting.
Where he drops a subspace bomb that summons a black hole that I'm assuming works in a similar fashion to the black hole item in Ultimate, but maybe less so. Yeah, I can see how that might be a little OP, but nevertheless. And then the final smash.
Some fine tuning.
Yep. And the final smash would be taking his the bomb carrier and dropping a subspace bomb in a cutscene. Of course, that would work. So yeah, and then there's some different smash attacks, different grabs and throws, but for the most part, semi-clone at best. Still more towards full clone territory, where we can say, oh, there's that one move that's different. It's kind of like a Crom situation.
Yeah.
But there are also different stats that have changed, so I'm not really entirely sure on that. How you would get into the nitty gritty of that classification, but it would be an interesting echo. And you did bring up the good point of Rob in Brawl is the Ancient Minister. And all I can pose to that is something along the lines of either you don't care, which is an easy way out because Mario and Dr. Mario stand along each other.
That's fair.
Or you just say it's a different Rob now, and the Ancient Minister, Rob went back into his old role. Okay, and another Rob has taken his place. Something as simple as that, like Donkey Kong, and how the original Donkey Kong from the arcade games is now Cranky Kong.
And DK Jr. has disappeared in the winds.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the father of our modern Donkey Kong, but no. What happened to DK Jr.? Where is he? As I once said on a joke on Reddit, poaching.
Yeah, that got a lot of upvotes.
It did. I was very proud of that comment.
It was good. We try not to search for validation, but we like it when it happens anyway. It's just human. Yep. Oh, man. But that was scintillating. I hope it's scintillating for other people, but I had fun with this conversation.
Indeed.
Oh boy! So I mean, we've gone through it. We've talked a little bit about talked a lot about clones and echoes and their differences, really, and the future of echoes and Smash. And we even went into just some of our wants. It was almost like a little miniature Smashtopia preview in that regard.
Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. I'm sure when we get down with our friend Waluigi, the eggplant savior, we're going to be a lot more studied, and we're not going to be, talking out of the seat of our pants, essentially.
We got some research to do for sure.
Yeah, exactly. This is more of a speed run. And that was for these Echo characters, and that was good. That was fun. We brought some good names to the table. If you want to know some others that I didn't put on my list of just the 5, just as kind of like a shout out round without delving into it really quick. Galactonite, Hilda, Gardevoir, Zeraora, Proto-Man, Shadow Mewtwo, who I'm probably glad we didn't talk about.
Yeah, I would not have.
And then I would have raised your Black Shadow for a Rick Wheeler, although that was admittedly more of a troll.
Rick Wheeler would have been good too. So
yeah,
several of those were also on my consideration list.
Mm-hmm.
I also had Wart from Super Mario Bros. 2, who would be a Bowser Echo, which, yes, I know, sounds a little weird, but it can be made to work. I'm pretty sure about that. It might be a little strange at first, but I'm confident on it.
Make Bubbles with Fire Breath.
Yeah, Lopunny was on my list as a Lucario Echo.
Right.
I don't know why, but for some reason I just like that idea. Gardevoir was on my list. Mm-hmm. Hector from Fire Emblem as an Ice Echo.
Nice. I'd be with it.
There's a lot of great options that could be Echoes. Shadow the Hedgehog, one that
of course,
was going to happen after we saw that Richter was a thing. It was like, well, okay, third-party Echoes are confirmed.
Yeah, and then of course the Grinch got us.
It was a foregone conclusion. Everybody assumed we were going to get Shadow. We're going to get him. No Shadow, which is honestly surprising.
It is.
The only reason he didn't make my top 5 is just because I'm not super big on Sonic. There's nothing wrong with Sonic. It's just that's not one of my franchises. I don't have any investment in them.
Yeah, he didn't really make my top 5 only because I was kind of veering into unexplored territory for the most part. So I knew that it was something people were already keen on. So
right,
like he's very likely for Smash 6 as an Echo. Like, of course. So
oh yeah.
Yep. Huh. Good times.
So if there's one thing that I would like to ask our audience here at this point,
mm-hmm.
I want to know from all of you, what is your opinion on clones and Echoes? Do you think Echoes should stick around? Do you think any of these characters that have become Echoes should stay as Echoes, or should they be promoted? What would be your top 5 Echoes that you want to see added into either DLC for Ultimate or Smash 6? Because just because we picked our top 5s, I mean, other people have their own. And I'd be curious to see what you guys have to say on that. Maybe somebody wants to see Gardevoir. I don't know. Possible.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and at the top of our next On Topic episode, maybe we can loop back to those comments and highlight some of the things that we thought were cool ideas.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sounds like a heck of a plan to me. So there's your homework today, audience. Feel free to chime in. And we do have a Discord server that we will drop a link to in the description, and on jfrom.com, which if you want to join on in and chat with us there, we'll be more than happy to reciprocate your enthusiasm, and it would be fun. And, in the meantime, you can also reach out to us on our socials, which are going to be listed in the description, as well as on jfrom.com. Again, I have a few socials listed on there. Lister has a few. So yeah, reach out if you want to. There's a lot of ways to do just that. So there you have it, I suppose. our first episode, mostly, I would say, there's going to be some hiccups along the way. This is our first time coordinating on a podcast, which in hindsight, given our history, is a little surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, we finally jumped over that. We're finally
bringing our combined passion for Smash into the public eye.
Right. And for better or for worse, it's going to be a thing that persists for a while. For a good long while. I look forward to looking back on this and cringing with you in unison as we go forward and get better at this. But in the meantime, thank you, whoever's listening, for graciously doing so. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we close out, Zantok?
Keep on smashing.
I wonder if that's going to become a constant tagline.
Maybe.
Maybe. Let us know what you think about that, too. Okay. Next up, our first Smashtopia episode with our dear friend, Waluigi.
Wow.
Until... Waluigi. Okay. That might have driven them all away. All two of them. Nevertheless...
You drove me away.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's time to just sign out. So, hey, thanks for listening. Sincerely, this is a big deal for us. This is a really ambitious and really fun project. So I'm glad that we finally jumped straight into it, and I hope that you enjoyed this conversation. I hope you'll be here a couple weeks from now. Until then,
we'll see you next time.
Yep. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.